Thursday, July 30th, 2020. So, I think my idea about hooking people emotionally, my diabolical scheme, is actually really effective, but a little too effective and not, but probably a little dangerous for the current situation. Like, being out there on the street and only hooking people emotionally. I mean, I talked about this, but I'm working on just kind of being funny and chilling it out a little bit, or at least having a little more control over it. But hooking people emotionally right now it's effective, but it's a little dangerous. I've just been having a lot of uncomfortable experiences out there because I'm poking at people's emotions a lot, and I'm figuring I'm gonna need to improve the skill of keeping things lighthearted and being able to talk about nothing. Like going out there with KJ when we're doing it together, he is we're talking about no, we're talking about you know some kid's mom's titties. She's not wearing a bra. That was a real thing. This poor kid, he is like 12, 13, and he was the kid with the mom. You know, Stacy's mom has gone. Just huge. She looked like she'd be the first thing that would pop up when you type in MILF porn. That was. Oh, hold on. We're not doing this. No. All right. Sorry about that. So, yeah, no, this kid, we were talking about his mom. Everybody was on the same page about her. And he was smiling on his face, but he's going to have issues. He knew. I think KJ was like, you deal with this a lot? And he's like, yeah. He knows what everyone's doing when they come over to his house. It's not to play with him. So we're talking about silly shit. And right now my headspace is so hard to get out of this fucking terrifying dark headspace and because of what's going on in the world. But I think it's a matter of shifting. I have this metaphor for it of looking at the world with a telescope versus a microscope. So when you're looking at the world with a telescope, you're looking in a very general sense, the big picture, big existential ideas, and little minute things I've always looked at it as boring. Like when I would have conversations with people, if you were to talk to anybody having a conversation with me growing up, it was always about something way bigger than how's the weather today, because that shit was just always boring to me. And so I would want to talk about these just big, interesting ideas because I was fucking bored all the time. I was bored in school, bored at home. I was just bored everywhere. Bored with conversations with people. And so I think what it is like, that's just where my head naturally goes. That's what I think about naturally. So I think what I got to do is, when I'm out there this time, start thinking about the minutia, the microscope a little more. Start thinking about the minutiae of things rather than big picture stuff. Then it'll give me, I think it'll be less dramatic, less fucking Shakespearean. And it'll allow me to have fun out there. I think that's the skill I got to work on, is talking about the minutia. So now I know how to hook people emotionally. I know how to hook people emotionally. I know how to talk about big picture ideas and get people interested in me. I know I have a better understanding of first person and then third person, and then seeing that little head movies, whatever I'm gonna call it, head movies. That's a reference to Tropic Thunder for anybody curious. So then I have the head movies idea that I got to keep practicing. Now, if I can switch, I got to work on the head movies if you watch the movie, you'll know why it's funny to me. Uh, I was okay. I got to work on the head movies thing. I got to work on being able to see that the I guess the inner film in my head a little clearer, so I can point out the humorous stuff. And now I also need to be able to make the head the head movies. I need to make the head movies also focus on the minutia. I was watching the Joe Rogan podcast, and the way he's able to relate to, scientists and physicists, but then he has fucking Post Malone on, and they're talking about Leprechaun versus Predator or some shit. I don't know. Like, that's the skill I need to work on. So I've always had the skill of talking about big ideas and existential stuff, deep and shit that's important, but now I need to be able to, just for my own fucking mental health, I need to be able to think about and talk about minute, nonsensical bullshit that I can just have fun with. That's going to be an important skill to develop, because I think when I talk about all this heavy stuff, the reason it's so hard to pull it back is because I'm still describing it in this heavy existential way. But I think if I start finding myself kind of going down the dark existential, big ideas, political stuff too much, if I can just switch to talking about fucking lollipops and broom handles, I'm just looking at what's in the room. I don't know if you can clearly. I have lollipops and broom handles, and dog fur. Aaliyah sheds you can make a pillow out of her. You can make one of those, like, you see one of those the pillows with the it's got like two pictures on it when you wipe your hand over it. It's like a magic genie pillow. Regardless. Yeah, that's the plan. So I think that's going to be able to, that this new little technique is going to be able to get me out of this existential place or these dark places, just talking about the minutia, just little things. It's probably going to take some practice, and I still got to work on the head movies skill, but I think this is a good idea. And I'm going out, I should be going out with KJ tonight, actually, so having this new idea might help that a lot. All right. If you know one person that you think would like this, share with them. Till next time.